Welcome back to Awakening the Inner Avatar. Today's episode is a little different and very special. We're talking about Tales of Ba Sing Se, an episode made up of small stories instead of one big plot. This episode reminds us that healing doesn't always happen in dramatic moments. Sometimes it happens in spas and tea shops, in awkward dates, in quiet grief, in tiny acts of kindness. Let's walk through these stories together. We begin with the tale of Toph and Katara. So the episode begins at the house where the group is staying. Aang is shaving his head, smirking at his reflection. Sokka is shaving his mustache, smiling proudly. And Katara is fixing her hair, smiling at herself in the mirror. When Katara goes to check on Toph, she finds her sprawled out, covered in dirt, hair a mess, completely unbothered. Toph spits into a vase, brushes off some earth, and declares she's ready. Katara, clearly feeling something deeper, suggests they turn the day into a girl's day. Toph is not interested at first, but soon they're at what Toph calls the fancy lady spa. Toph agrees as long as no one touches her feet, which lasts about 5 seconds. The girls laugh. Steam fills the room, clay masks fly, and for once, Toph lets herself just be. Later, when some girls tease Toph about her makeup, Toph laughs, then earthbends them into a shallow river, and Katara happily joins in with some waterbending. But as they walk home, Toph admits something tender. She says she doesn't think about her appearance because she's blind. She knows who she is. She doesn't need approval. And yet, tears fall. Katara tells her that she admires her strength, that she's confident and self-assured. And even though it doesn't matter, she tells Toph she's really pretty. Toph quietly says she'd return the compliment if she knew what Katara looked like. This tale reminds us that strength and vulnerability can exist together. The following tale is called The Tale of Iroh. Uncle Iroh's story begins in the marketplace. He buys a basket, not for romance, but for a special occasion. He gently moves a wilting flower into the shade, reminding us that sometimes we don't need fixing, just the right environment. He calms a crying child with music, offers wisdom to children who break a window, teaches a would-be mugger about balance, both physical and emotional. He shares tea with a confused man and helps him realize he might be a good massage therapist. "This is so great," the man says. "No one has ever believed in me." And Uncle Iroh responds, "While it's always best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing." Then Uncle Iroh reaches his destination, A hill at a sunset, a blanket, tea, incense, a photo. Happy birthday, my son, he says. If only I could have helped you. And as he sings Leaves from the Vine, grief fills the space. This is love that never left, grief that still breathes. The next tale is called The Tale of Aang. Aang flies through Ba Sing Se searching for Appa. He finds animals in cages, neglected because no one will fund the zoo. So Aang does what Aang does best. He frees them. Chaos follows. But Aang doesn't abandon the problem. He adapts. He guides the animals between the walls, builds new habitats, and brings joy back to the children. This tale reminds us that compassion isn't passive, it's creative. The next tale is called The Tale of Sokka. At night, Sokka wanders the city and stumbles upon a group of girls reciting poetry. He's awkwardly kicked inside and welcomed. They freestyle haikus. Sokka joins in. It becomes a poetry battle. And just when he's found his rhythm, he messes up the syllables and gets kicked out. Still, for a moment, he belonged. And sometimes that's enough. The following tale is called The Tale of Zuko. Zuko believes a girl at the tea shop knows his secret. Uncle Iroh gently suggests she might just like him. Her name is Jin. She asks Zuko or Lee out. Uncle Iroh says yes for him. Their date is awkward, sweet, honest in its own way. Zuko lights the firelight fountain for her, a glimpse of who he really is. When Jin leans in for a kiss, Zuko panics. He gives her a tea shop coupon. She kisses him anyway. And that tenderness is too much. He leaves. Back home, Uncle Iroh asks how it went. Zuko slams the door, then quietly opens it. It was nice. This tale is about wanting connection and not believing you deserve it. The last tale of the episode is the tale of Momo. Momo dreams of flying with Appa. He wakes up to rain. He finds Appa's fur. A shadow that isn't Appa. A tree that isn't Appa. He's chased, captured, escapes, and in helping others, he finds companionship. In the end, Momo curls up inside an Appa-sized paw print as rain falls. Grief makes space for memory. Let's pause. This episode teaches us that healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Strength doesn't cancel tenderness. Toph shows us that being strong doesn't mean you never feel. Now let's ask ourselves, where might I allow myself to be both strong and soft? This is an important question because sometimes we think that we can't be both. You can't be strong or soft. That's what the world kind of makes us think or feel or assume, but that's absolutely not true. You can be both strong and soft. We shouldn't swallow our emotions down just because we want to be strong. I think that if we allow ourselves to feel, that can actually make us strong. Like, it can make us stronger. And so this is definitely an important question to really sit and kind of reflect on. And an affirmation that can help us during thinking and reflecting about this particular topic is, I am allowed to feel and still be powerful. Grief is love with nowhere to go. Uncle Iroh reminds us that grief doesn't mean failure. It means connection. Now let's ask ourselves, who or what do I still carry love for? This is something that many of us go through. I think that when we have a loved one that passes away, that loved one is always with us no matter what. We carry that person with us. We carry the memories with us. We carry the things that we learned from this person with us. And that is okay. That is absolutely okay. It is okay to remember, even if it brings us sadness, or if it brings us joy, or if it brings us, any emotion. It's okay to still carry this person with us, to still carry love for this person. We don't stop loving someone just because they're not with us anymore. And so I think that with this question, it's about accepting and understanding that it is okay to still carry love for someone that is not with us anymore, whether they've passed away or whether we've, grown apart or whatever the case may be. And an affirmation that can help with this is, and you can repeat after me if you'd like, my love continues even through loss. Healing lives in small moments. Every tale is quiet and deeply meaningful. So something that we can ask ourselves and reflect on is, what small moment brought me comfort recently? It can be anything. So it can be something that's from this episode, or it can be something that's happening in your life or that happened in your life recently. Like for me, something and it's a continuous moment, but it's a moment that always brings me comfort is sitting down with my partner, my husband, and seeing how he supports me. So if I'm doing something, if I'm working on a project, doing even this, the podcasting and sharing all these important lessons and things with you guys, sometimes it can be difficult. I had stepped away for like about almost 2 months, and it was difficult on me to have to be away. But then it was also kind of difficult coming back, just because I worry that maybe those of you that are listening thought that I abandoned you and maybe didn't come back here to this. But my partner, and again, he's my husband as well, he reminded me, how this is not just for you guys, this is also for me. So doing this is also doing healing work for myself. And so that brings me a lot of comfort, feeling his support always. And it may be, like I said, small moments, but it's still something that brings me comfort. And an affirmation that can help you during that, or honestly, it's even helping me by reading it as well, is I honor the small steps of my healing. Tales of Bossing Say reminds us that we don't need to be fixed to be worthy. We need connection. We need honesty. We need gentleness. And sometimes we just need a cup of tea and someone who believes in us. Until next time, take care of your heart, even in the smallest ways. This is Awakening the Inner Avatar. This podcast is a fan-created project intended for educational and spiritual reflection. All clips, references, and content related to Avatar, The Last Airbender, Star Wars, Rebels, and other media are used under fair use for commentary, analysis, and transformative discussion. All rights to original shows, characters, and music belong to their respective creators and copyright holders.